Ciao ragazzi, in this video, I'm going to review the Hori 900, a bicycle light made by Magicshine. Now just to let you know, I didn't get this light for free. I'm not sponsored by Magicshine. I actually go out and buy the light, test it out, and let you know what I think about it. Let's see what's in the box. You get the Hori 900. To put the light on your bicycle, you get an out front mount with a Garmin connector on the top and a GoPro connector on the bottom. You get a Garmin GoPro adapter. You get a package with a whole bunch of different things in it, like screws, shims, Allen keys, and looks like a couple of other adapters for Wahoo. And there's another blank adapter if you don't want to use an adapter at all with this light. You get a USB-C cable and the instructions. Let's see what features this light has. Norman, drum roll please. Norman?
He's off on break.
Oh, I guess I'll have to do it myself. Brrr. There are a couple of reasons I bought myself this Hori 900, and one of them is the mounting system. I really like the way it saves space on your handlebars by allowing you to mount your cycling computer on top of the light. I first saw this design a couple of years ago on a club ride. One of the people I was riding with had one on their bicycle made by a company named Raveman. Since then, they've become very popular, and other companies have made their own variations of this design. I decided to buy the one made by Magicshine because I like the quality that they put into their products. Okay, I wanted to show you how easy it is to mount the light with a cycling computer. Now you can see my handlebars are kind of small, and this really helps with clearing up the clutter that would happen if I had to have the light here and the Garmin computer. So what I'm going to do now is just remove my cycling computer. Now this is a Garmin 1040. On the big side of cycling computers actually, but it works just fine. So I have a Garmin mount here, and if you don't have a Garmin mount, there's one included in the package. I decided not to use it. The Garmin mount that's included actually sticks out about here, and then you would put your cycling computer in there. Taking the male side, going to put it down into the Garmin mount. Then the next thing here, we'll put the cycling computer on here, and the cycling computer goes down there, and we are done. If putting the light on top of your handlebars is not for you, you can also mount it underneath, but this method comes with a caveat. Let me explain. Magicshine designed this light to be a low beam that won't blind oncoming traffic. To do that, they created the special lens that's inside the light, and it casts this triangular light pattern out onto the road. If you decide to mount the light underneath, the lens is inverted and the light no longer lights up the road. To fix this, all you have to do is take the two Garmin bases that are on the light and flip them around. It's easy to do with the included Allen key, but it is a bit of a pain. One feature I wish this light would have is a place for a tether. I've bought several lights that use the Garmin mount, and the Garmin mount breaks, unscrews itself, or sometimes the light dislodges itself from the Garmin mount, and in all cases, the light comes crashing to the ground. Since then, I created a hack to attach a tether to the light. If you want to see how to do it, I have a video up on my channel. Check it out. I really like the tether. It reduces the stress of watching your light crash to the ground, not to mention the hassle of having to go out and buy a new one. I just don't understand why Magicshine doesn't include a point on the light where you can attach a tether. Now let's get on to the power button. It lights up in different colors to tell you how much charge is left in the battery. If the light's green, you have 20 to 100% charge left in the battery. If the light's a constant red, there's anywhere between 11 and 20% charge left in the battery. And if it's a flashing red, you have 1 to 10% charge left in the battery. Another feature of the power button is it lets you cycle through the different modes and brightness levels. So I'll just show you quickly how to get the light on and the different button functions. So to get the light on, just hold it down for a couple seconds and the light is on. And then I can cycle through all the different brightness modes. I just cycle through them once. And now to get the daytime running light mode, what you do is you double click on the button, and now we're in daytime running light mode. And if I switch it again, it'll cycle through a different version of daytime running light mode. Pretty simple, easy to get at. And the good thing about this is it actually has a memory. So when I turn this off, it'll come back on to this lighting section. I'll show you. So I'll switch the light off, take 2 seconds. And now when I turn it back on, it'll be back in daylight running mode flashing. There you go. That's really convenient. Another feature of the Hori 900 is the app. It allows you to program your own custom lighting modes. Now for some of you out there, this might be a little over the top, but if you like to geek out on stuff, let me show you what the app can do. So it comes with this app. I'm going to log in. I'm using Android. Pretty sure the iPhone is going to be identical. Let's add a device. So the light is connected and it's showing you that the operating temperature right now inside the light is 24 Celsius. We got battery at 100%. And there's some other features this light does not have, so that's why they're grayed out. One is called light sensor, one's motion detect. I guess that's for other lights that Magicshine makes. Well, let's get on to programming a different mode. So I'm going to add this on. Okay, so it's already started up with 10% light mode. Now I can change this to whatever, but I'm going to save this as one of the modes. So I'll hit save, and there you go. So we have the mode. I'll add another one now. If you have issues with flashing lights on the screen, please turn away right now. I'm going to demonstrate a flashing light mode. So I'm going to go ahead and select flashing. Now that's at 10% and I'll increase it. I'm going to put it to 30% and I'll hit save. So now I have a blinking mode, or I call it flashing, at 30%. So I'll add another one now. Let's just say I wanted an SOS mode. So I'll do SOS mode at 50%. There it is. I'll hit save. I'm happy with that. I'm going to add another mode. Let's do another full blast mode as steady light. So I'll hit save. So now I'm up to 4. Let's push this thing. Let's go to 5. And I'll do 5. I'll do another... Shall I do another flashing? Let's just do another steady mode at about 30%. And there it goes down. Save. So the light originally came with 5 different modes. So right now I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modes on its own. I'll do another one just for the heck of it. I'll put this up around 70. Hit save. So now I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different modes that I've added. And I will disconnect from the app. You have to do a disconnect. Confirm. So now the light should have all my different modes. So let's just try them out here. So I'll cycle through. Remember, some of these modes are going to be flashing. So if this bothers you in any way, please turn away. So there's my low mode. That's 1. There's my flashing mode. There's my SOS mode. There's my very high mode. There's something a little lower. There's that. So now I'm up to 6 modes. And the default modes, there's actually 3 when you use this button. If I double click, I get another 2. Let's see if those other 2 actually are still here. So I'll double click. And yeah, the daylight running lights are on. So that's, what are we up to? 6, 7 modes. And if I press again, so I got 8 modes. The app is not foolproof, and I learned that the hard way. I decided to create a lighting mode that would save me battery life, so I made it flash, and I reduced the brightness to half. This is what happened. I was out on another gravel ride on Friday, and the light conked out on me after 3 hours. Now I'm back at home, but that's what happened to me out on the ride. The light died on me, and I couldn't understand why. I pressed the button on the side, it was green. I logged in with the app, it told me I had plenty of battery life left. Now let me show you how different the app is to what the light is actually doing. So I'm going to press the button one time, and that's a flashing red, which tells me to charge this. And according to Magicshine's documentation, flashing red means 1 to 10%. Let's log in with the app and see what the app tells me the battery life is in the light. So I'll connect to the device, confirm connection. Okay, we're connected. Initially it says 100%. Now it says there's 30. But when I press the light, it says I got 1 to 10%. That's what got me when I was out on that ride. I thought I had plenty of battery life left. And obviously the light did not. It conked out on me halfway through the ride. The moral of this story, don't trust the app to tell you how much battery life you have left in the light. Always use the indicator on the power button. And secondly, if you decide to program in your own lighting mode, the brightness level may not be what you expect, and your battery life could be significantly reduced. The Hori 900 comes with 5 different lighting modes right out of the box. There's low at 200 lumens, there's medium at 400 lumens, and then there's high at 900 lumens. They also have 2 daytime running light modes, which they call DRL mode. One is constant at 50 lumens, and the other one is flashing at 0 to 50 lumens. On the box, Magicshine mentions 2 additional flash modes, a day flash that goes from 0 to 50 to 0 lumens, and a night flash that goes from 30 to 200 to 30 lumens. When I tried cycling through the different modes and brightness levels, I couldn't get the light to go into flash mode. After reading through the instructions, I found out it's only available with the optional remote control. There is a bit of a saving grace with this light. As you saw in the previous section, it comes with an app so you can customize as many modes as you want and program them into the light. Now let's test out the battery life for the light. We'll have a look at the box again. At 200 lumens, it's supposed to last 3.5 hours. At 400 lumens, it's supposed to last 2.5 hours. And at 900 lumens, it's supposed to last 1.5 hours. When you switch over to DRL mode, that's daytime running light mode, the light's supposed to last 7.5 hours if it's constantly on, and if you put it into flash mode, you're supposed to get 30 hours. So let's put the light up on the bench, put it on at the highest output, which is high at 900 lumens, and see how long the light lasts. Here we go. Okay, I'll back up the video here so we can see the last time. We got 1 hour and 52 minutes, which is well beyond what the manufacturer specified at 1.5 hours. Now I'm going to do one more test to see if the light dims over time. Let me adjust the camera settings. Here we go. Okay, test is over. Let's have a look. And yes, the light has dimmed down significantly over time, but it's 1 hour and 52 minutes. To be fair to Magicshine, they claim their light lasts 1.5 hours. Let's roll the video back to 1.5 hours and compare the two. At the start of the video, the face of the clock is fairly bright. After 1.5 hours, the face of the clock has dimmed, but not significantly. That's something to keep in mind if you plan to push the limits of the light's battery life. Let's get the light out on the road for a road test. Let's get set up for the road test. The Hori 900 will be on the left side, and my benchmark light will be on the right. My go-to light is the Magicshine RN800. Okay, we'll start 10 meters away from the camera. The Hori 900 is in daytime running light mode, or DRL mode for short, and I'm going to set it up in flashing mode. The Magicshine will be in day flash mode at 800 lumens for the duration of the test. Looking at the two lights, the RN800 is a lot brighter. I understand it's at 800 lumens, whereas the Hori 900 DRL mode is at 50, but it's very difficult to see in the daytime. I even had trouble shooting video of DRL mode. Standing about a meter from the wall, I was able to record all the various light modes except DRL. I had to bring the Hori 900 about 15 to 20 centimeters from the wall to see any kind of light pattern. I just don't understand why Magicshine chose these tiny LEDs to try and make you visible during the day. It doesn't seem to work very well. If any of you know why the light is designed like this, comment below. I'd like to know. Let's change the mode on the Hori 900. I use the app to program a flashing mode at full brightness. That would be 900 lumens. And as you can see, they're pretty well the same. Let's move on to 20 meters. I put the light back into DRL mode, and you're probably starting to notice what I was talking about earlier. The DRL mode on the Hori 900 is pretty dim. I'll switch the Hori 900 over to 900 lumens, and it's pretty well identical to the RN800. Let's move on to 30 meters. At 30 meters, the DRL light is barely visible. Let's change modes over to 900 lumens, and that's a little better. It's virtually identical to the RN800. Okay, let's go from the daytime road test to the nighttime road test. Here's the first test at 200 lumens. You'll notice the Hori 900 beam has a triangular, or should I say trapezoidal shape, and that's because of that special lens. It works like a car's low beam to light up the road ahead of you. On the other hand, the RN800 is more like a high beam. It illuminates everything around you. They're both doing a pretty good job of lighting up the road at 200 lumens. Now let's bump it up to 400 lumens. The Hori light keeps its beam pattern consistent, focusing on the road, and it's a bit brighter than before. Meanwhile, the RN800 is a bit dimmer on the road, but it does a great job of lighting up the surroundings. Now let's bump it up to full brightness, the Hori 900 at 900 lumens and the RN800 at 800 lumens. The Hori 900 intensifies its beam on the road, maintaining that consistent pattern of not bleeding off anywhere else. Meanwhile, the RN800 is slightly less bright, but it covers more than just the road. And now here's an overview of the Hori 900 at 200, 400, and 900 lumens. Well, let's wrap this up. The Hori 900, like all other Magicshine products, has a great build quality. The buttons work, it's made of aluminum, and the fit and finish are really nice. It is compact, although it's a little thicker than its competitors like the Raveman. The big selling feature on this light is that you can put any cycling computer on top of it that has a Garmin or Wahoo mount to declutter up your handlebars. The one thing people always wonder about when they buy a light with special features like this is, does the light work well? Well, this is a great commuter light. It's intended to act like a low beam by creating a trapezoidal pattern out in the road with that special lens that they designed. It works really well. Now, Magicshine also claims that this has a daytime running light. They call it DRL mode. I tried it, but it's not very bright. I was kind of disappointed with that. As far as battery life, the light will go an hour and a half to 2 hours in steady mode and will probably last you a bit longer if you decide to use one of the flashing modes. But be careful if you use your own custom lighting modes that you programmed in through the app. The app is easy to use, but it can be a bit buggy at times, especially when it comes to reporting things like the amount of battery life left in the light. Well, that's all I got for the Hori 900. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.